You ready, Sharon?
Let's see.
What we gonna see?
What the fuck you about to talk about?
We talking about what you wanted to talk about.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Upper room?
Not the upper room. But Sharon, Sharon sent this message on we should do an episode about closure. And I said, go ahead, nigga, do it. She was like, well, I don't want to host it, but I felt like
That's how I sounded on the text message?
Yeah. I don't want to host it, but Matter of fact, I'm gonna read the text message to y'all in her voice. Let me find the text message. And all this is gonna be on the episode, Sharon. Episode on closure. Is it needed in friendships and relationships? This is not me saying I'm a host it, LOL. I heard it on the radio this morning. I thought it was a good subject.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Do I code switch like that?
Yeah.
Because those was two different
Yes, you. Yeah. You're like, guys, okay. Look, sometimes you just got to get through it. You just got to get through it. But also, you got to let these niggas know. You got to let these niggas.
That's the real shit.
What up, everybody?
You
This episode.
That's some real shit, though.
This is episode 239 of the Heavyweight Collective.
I quit. This is my last episode.
I'm your host today, Mo Sharon. I'm here with this lady and these two guys. Go ahead and state your names.
I'm the real Sharon. I don't know who he thought he was.
I'm Mo Sharon.
Like. Go ahead. What's your name?
Yep.
I'm letting these niggas know. Because when I was in my sunroom and the breeze had went through my hair.
I'm just here. That's my name.
I'm
here.
Ray Tronimus Prime.
Ray Tronimus Prime?
I hate it.
Andy, I want you to know that every time I see your name on Facebook, I start crying laughing. The De La Ghetto.
Rachel. Oh, it is.
Yeah, De La Ghetto.
What is that?
That's from Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay. I remember you said that.
Yeah, Raphael De La Ghetto.
I did remember
you said that. The fucking fake poet that Will came up with. That he had Jeffrey pretend to be. Cannons to the left.
Cannons to the right. Or as Ron would say, these motherfuckers on the left and the right.
Yeah.
They all around us. You see, you got to do it with the hand, too. They all around us.
You got to do
We got to hit somebody, too.
I'm not going to hit nobody.
You got to hit somebody.
How was y'all weeks? What's going on?
Chill. Very chill.
Bruno.
Okay.
We got a new branch to Nigget's Catering.
Oh, word?
My kids are selling burritos.
Oh, yeah.
School.
Oh, that's what's up.
Is this for a fundraiser or are they just getting money?
Maya's fundraising for Maya.
Oh.
Yeah, it was dope. I made I make at home all the time. We call it Chipotle. I call it Chipotle. It's like
it's because it's shitty or?
Sharon. Sharon.
You might want to rethink the...
I hate it.
I'm just saying we just Optus matters.
Yeah.
Matters.
I mean,
Jesus,
just say Chipotle.
I didn't say shit.
You said
Chipotle,
Chipotle.
right?
Okay, so stop.
Here she go.
The
This is how
Chipotle
she's about
chicken.
to text somebody, be like, am I tripping? Or do these niggas just like it?
Hold on. I got you, Gavin. Because I know, the way I said it, I may have been a little out of pocket. But these niggas know who I am. And
I do not switch up my life that much in conversation.
Oh, shit.
I'm layered. Anyway, I made the Chipotle chicken and the cilantro lime rice.
mm-hmm.
And so she made burritos. The first day I made the burritos completely. The second day I said, no, you're going to have to do some stuff.
Yeah.
So I taught her how to do the marinade. She ended up actually doing everything. Because that was the day my back was really messed up. And when I tell you that they was in the kitchen, never again. They was like, it's been 3 hours. They even...
Oh, it's a job.
That's how you got to get money, yeah.
They was like, why do you cook? Because
I gotta feed. Because legally, I gotta feed y'all niggas. That's why.
Yep, that's the
yeah,
leverage.
they were very pissed at because my other daughter actually they did like a little group effort. My other daughter made like these little Rice Krispie treat things. So
you couldn't bring that up.
they sold out.
That's what's up.
And so before they left the house, like they was in the car on their way to school, and they posted on their story before they was selling the burritos before they even got to school. So she ended up doing 3 days of the burritos, and I told her we could do like 2 to 3 days a week. That's the
Little hustle.
little added.
How much tax
Every
take us
day
out?
I'm hustling.
I ain't getting no money.
She said nothing, man.
She gave me 20. Okay, so the first batch she gave me $20.
That's the aluminum foil.
Yeah.
And then the second batch, I didn't get no money from her.
Sounds like they did more of the cooking on the second one.
The second one,
So-
she did the work, and I made her do her re-up. So
That's
when she
fair.
bought her stuff from her first day's money, I made her buy her stuff. But then, you know, kids is dumb. I told her to get the chicken from Walmart. She went to Stater Brothers, and it was a big difference in the price. So,
Yeah.
you know, she's learning. I'm using this as a tool.
I
Also.
like her better because she get better quality ingredients.
No, hey, it was funny though, because they came in the house with a damn bag of shredded cheese. And I was like, ew. Like, tell them kids that you made them burritos, because I do not use shredded cheese. I grate my. And then midway through the burritos, I was on the phone with my cousin. We was like, these burritos ain't gonna have no love to them. I'm like, these burritos gonna taste like frustration.
This nigga said the burrito's gonna taste like frustration.
Because the kids was irritated. I told you they was in the kitchen, man.
Kevin still-
I cook with love. I don't cook with
Kevin
frustration.
he's still tripping off about the shredded cheese part.
I don't buy bags shredded cheese. Why? What you tripping about?
I don't do shredded cheese. I just shred cheese.
You know what I meant. I don't buy that bag of
The
shit
pre-made
with the salt or the sawdust all in there.
Okay, McFly, your week because she giving us the rundown of her year.
Y'all asked about the burritos.
Just
Goddamn
chilling,
it.
relaxing,
That's
working, getting ready for the summer to be here.
It's already hot.
Your summer body? You getting your summer body right?
So we're gonna get what everybody they get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just chilling. So that's the best I can say. I just chilling, just trying to get through to the summertime so I can actually start a vacation.
Ooh, you have a vacation planned? Or you mean
Just off.
you're not going to work?
No,
That's
No.
tight.
Ain't that the point of being on vacation?
For how long?
a week,
That's
But
dope.
just not being at work.
who goes to work on vacation?
No,
I
you know
used
what I
to.
mean. I just shut up.
Oh,
Go
just
ahead.
one day a week. Kevin?
Good. My week was good.
Good.
Bruno Mars. We went to see him. He's good.
Oh,
His the
Did
new
anybody
album
th-
sucks, but
did-
he's
it is terrible. Did anybody throw panties up there?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
no,
about
he's
Isn't he
not
gay?
really.
He not gay?
No, he's just married. I thought.
What about a bag of
Oh,
Coke?
not married. He had his own.
He do coke?
He had his own.
Does
He was
he?
hula
You can
hooping.
look
Wait,
at Bruno Mars
wait.
and tell he does Coke.
I wouldn't think that he's a
Really?
coke doer.
Go watch the Grammys.
He looked like
Watch
he
the
do
mo-
Coke.
He looked like he was just 2 seconds away from.
Have y'all ever seen that old? Oh my gosh, that it's an old video of Bobby Brown dancing on stage and the coke fell out of his pocket. Y'all never seen that?
No.
I'm
You
surprised
know
he
Bobby
had some
Brown
left.
dancing.
Yeah.
The nigga was dancing and he like did a little dip down and picked this coke back up.
That's money, nigga. I ain't gonna let that money on the
He
ground.
put that shit right back in his pocket.
I'm not gonna let that money be on the ground. My
Damn.
week was good, man. Just tired. Just always fucking tired.
I'm
Yeah.
just always tired.
Always tired. I didn't make no burritos, and I didn't go to no concerts. Just
You need Coke?
That's a connect, man.
You
Bobby
doing
Brown's
coke?
connect.
that hell yeah.
That nigga's been in business
wouldn't
for
be
a
tired.
long
Why you
Long
answer,
time.
answer my question? You do Coke?
Do I do Coke?
Did you?
Coke Zero?
Like cocaine?
No, yeah, Coke Zero. and the red can. Coke Zero.
They put that in there too.
Yeah.
You see the dad joke like at the drive-through, like, "Oh, can I get a Pepsi?" And they're like, "We only have Coke." He's like, "In that case, can I get a gram?"
I'm gonna use that shit.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that shit.
You might get the wrong person. You be like, yeah.
All right, y'all. Since,
Yeah.
since Sharon wanted to talk about closure, I don't know what door she trying to close.
Disclaimer: I heard it on Big Boy in the Neighborhood that morning.
I don't know what door she's trying to close. So we're gonna
I hate
cultivate
you.
this whole episode about closure and why
Yeah.
Sharon needs it apparently.
I don't need any need closure.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and read this to y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think here. Do we actually need closure, or are we just struggling to accept what has already ended? Because a lot of people are looking for closure. I'm sorry, a lot of people aren't looking for closure. They're looking for validation. They're looking for one more conversation or one more chance to understand, or maybe one more chance to change the outcome. Is it necessary, or is it something we need to learn to how to create our own closure
For ourselves.
I think closure is like forgiveness.
Is it?
Ultimately,
Well,
for
hold on.
yourself,
So
yeah.
you tell me what closure means to you, Kevin. So just forgiveness?
No, it's like it's for yourself. It's
Mhm.
not for like because forgiveness ain't for another person. You don't forgive somebody if it's for them. It's for yourself.
Mhm.
Closure just turning the page, almost like turning the page.
Closing.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
I'm just kidding.
Draw?
Oh, I don't think closure is needed
Okay.
overall.
Leave that book open, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think closure is for yourself, just like with forgiveness. But you don't have to gather that closure or expect it from the other person for it to be closed. So,
Okay.
but I do think that it gets a little muddy depending on the ending of whatever the situation looked like with relationship. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think that closure is needed, and I think that closure looks like what allow yourself to arrive.
Do you believe closure can be a crutch?
Yeah.
If you feel you need it, you think it's a crutch?
It could be. I think that it provides an opportunity for people to sometimes prolong. When I was, like I said, I heard it on the radio, and the guy was saying that he used to use closure. He would throw out there to ex-girlfriend, say that he needed closure, really to just see if he could meet up and hit again.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
Very much so. But I'm telling you that's what you.
That's
kind
where
of
I'm coming from.
might
Is like
experience.
closure doesn't even have to involve another person
Right.
whatsoever. So it's like
It might be
I
the
feel
shrooms
like
talking.
it's more
You see
of a
that?
necessary thing because
It ain't looking up.
no, it's because I'm gathering my thoughts.
Mhm.
But it's more. I feel like yes, it is necessary because it's how do you turn the next page? How do you move forward if you're still leaving something open ended that doesn't need to be open ended? It doesn't necessarily mean you're going back. It means you could be dwelling on that, and you're dwelling on something that you don't need to be dwelling on when you could be focused on something else. So close the page.
So
Close the
you're
chapter.
saying you don't need it. You just create it for yourself.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't necessarily mean you gotta go talk to somebody to be like, this is where it's at. It's like this is where it's at. That's just where it's at.
I think it could be a crutch if you don't allow yourself to move on, like what
Yeah, if you
Kevin's
don't
saying.
close.
Yeah, if you whether your closure has to look like with the other person or if it's by yourself, if regardless of that, if you don't allow it to happen the way that it needs a crutch for you to just harp on whatever that was, basically.
What are your thoughts, McFly?
I feel like it's circumstantially based. Because if
Well, give us some circumstances.
so if it's a relationship that you're trying to keep, so whether it be a friendship or whatever, that certain closures might be needed to keep like a in good standing. But if
Like-
if it's something like
Are you saying like to like move to? Sorry to cut you off, but like you mean like say like get certain closure on certain topics or certain
certain
situations
issues
to move to the next.
move to the next
I
thing,
agree
yeah.
with
Okay.
that.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if say it's somewhere you don't plan on seeing that person again, or you guys aren't ever going to talk again, then at that point the closure just might be you just having an understanding with yourself about what it is, and just like the forgiveness part, just coming to an understanding that this is what it is and leave it at that.
So then I would ask you that on your first example, is that closure or is that just reconciliation? So you guys still the relationship continue? Because in my mind, when I think of closure, I'm thinking I'm not going to have any more interactions or meaningful interactions with you post this.
I only see closure because it could be just a situation where you're like, this is something that we haven't gotten
Be
an
a
understanding on.
disagreement, yeah.
Like when Sharon last episode was talking about with a friend, and like getting to that understanding of it was a disagreement, but like if you just kind of like what I posted this week, where just acting like it never happened.
Oh, I hate that.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the same as forgiveness or
Calm down,
or
Sharon.
But what I'm saying, like, it's just coming to an understanding. Like, we get closure on this particular problem or issue we're dealing with, so we
Yeah.
can kind of move on to the next. Like,
So I like what you said there because what you made it multi-level,
Yeah.
right?
Like that.
So before you started talking, these two niggas made it very cut and dry.
It's not. But no matter what, it's still necessary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closure is a necessary
Yeah,
thing.
it's just-
But
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead,
But-
Sharon. This your shit. Talk your shit. This Sharon episode. Go ahead, Sharon. Don't laugh.
Ooh, shit. Anyway, I do like that you broke it down the way that you did because
She finna piggyback. Every time she say that shit, she gonna piggyback. What's wrong?
I just don't like it here anymore.
You're always welcome.
I quit. This is my last episode. I'm
No.
gonna say that a couple more times.
No, she not.
No, I like that because you do sometimes need to gain closure of a situation, not necessarily closure of a relation. And that I think is 100%. Because I've had situations with friendships or whatever where I feel like if you don't really get closure from what the situation was, then you have people carry whatever their interpretation of whatever their interpretation of it was, they will carry that into other situations as you go forward. If that clarity wasn't provided through the closure. So I think but when it comes to people, I mean relationships.
But that
I
goes against everything you just said.
But
Like,
hold on.
because it all has to close. Like,
Yeah.
it's
But I
closing.
also I think that goes back to what you were saying last episode when you said your friend had you effed up, but it was just a
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
and then you closed it.
So after you stopped being dramatic, which was your words, not mine. Okay, well, after you stopped being dramatic and you got the understanding. So and to McFly's example, you got closure on that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And then to Kevin's point, it was needed.
Well, because
Yeah, but why
what he's saying is, I like what he's saying in that because that's where it's necessary to have the other person involved is when you're closing something with someone and where it's like, hey, we have to, if we want to move forward as a unit, we need to come together on this closure. Not like if it's a whole relationship is like,
yeah, if you're closing the relationship,
It's different.
then
Yeah,
it's very different.
Okay.
You can move on. I move on.
Okay. All right.
but
Hey.
yeah, I feel like you don't have to.
Like I did that.
Layers. What? Layers?
I love it. I love that.
So, but I think that's in situations like what McFly was explaining about getting closure on the situations. I think that's to McFly's point. I think that's when you have some type of emotional attachment to the person, like the close friend, whatever. To Sharon's example, it's more like unanswered questions. Like we need to figure this out. So there's no misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Right. And then to Kevin's part about if you don't intend on ever being involved with this person again, like there's no point in having closure
I guess
I'm
not necessarily saying that either because there's times you just don't get to have that closure you think you get. Like the whole situation I got going on. It's like,
okay,
where the fuck did that come from? That was just one day you're here, the next day you're gone. And then you have things going on with that where it's like, all right, so I don't get to necessarily, as they say, go pay respects.
Okay.
A lot of people take that as their closure.
But you just
know what I mean?
You just added another layer to that.
Yeah,
I get it.
I agree.
But
you added another situational layer to that because I was talking more towards. I'm not talking about the situation you're dealing with in particular, but I'm saying you're no longer dealing with someone that is still here.
Yeah, but then there's other people that are still here within that. Whereas like you're losing a different type of closure, but it's like, what do I do in that scenario? Do I go after these people and be a certain way, or do you just
absolutely? That's the pettiness. I'm gonna tell you to be petty every time.
Or do you take it on the chin and you go,
no, pause.
Do you know what I mean? So,
I'm gonna tell you to be petty every time. Okay, so if they've already showed you who they are,
literally,
what more needs to be explained?
Period. You said it.
So
that's the answer right there.
at what point?
That's the answer.
Not using Kevin's example because obviously he can't have another conversation with the person he's referring to. At what point do you cease communication when you just understand that this ain't an understanding. They just don't give a fuck. So at what point did you like, you know what? Your misunderstanding or your lack of wanting to understand me is enough for me to just close the door.
They said at what point?
Yeah.
I said after the first attempt. Like if I try once and I see where it goes, I'm like, okay, that's all I needed to see. That's all I need. That's just verifies that I can't. There's no like, cause I always live by the belief. Some people are just committed to misunderstanding you. So that if they're committed to misunderstanding, you can't really have that conversation of saying, well, I'm trying to get to an understanding or a closure point. But if you're already on this and you're like, oh, you just ready to take it there. It's just, you can decide to keep that conversation going and just give yourself a headache, or you can decide to say, this is where I exit.
Now, do you take into consideration maybe their mental state of where they're at in the moment?
I take into consideration that we all deal with shit, and you have to be able to understand it and balance. Like I can give you a certain amount of grace of understanding you're going through something, but at the same token, if we're all going through something, we have to have enough of an understanding to have enough respect in the situation to say, well, I can't, because I'm going through some shit and my mental's fucked up, that I got to take that out on you. Because if that person didn't have nothing to do with where your mental state is, you kind of got to give the understanding, like, I can't take this, like, I can't lash out at somebody for what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like a certain amount of grace on both parts, I guess. So,
Sharon, thoughts?
Yeah.
Opinions?
Yeah. I just think that when I like how you said, I mean, basically, when somebody shows you who they are. So when you take like the two examples of, are you talking about it being a situation, or are you talking about the relationship? I feel like when somebody shows you who they are in a relationship and you arrive at the point where there's an ending to that relationship, that's it. There's kind of no closure but the other part is if it's a situation and that person, it's kind of difficult. It's like what you said, like you can try. If the person is just not trying to understand, then yeah, you do kind of like got to take a step back. I don't necessarily know if that means that that's the end of that relationship, but that may start the chain of events. You know what I mean? Because more than likely you're going to have another. And like I said, if there was no closure from whatever situation, it's more than likely that that's going to continue. That same misunderstanding will occur again, or that same mindset is going to carry into other misunderstandings because you guys did not provide yourselves with a closure for that. So I just think that you'll hold it the same way that they may hold something negative. I think that that's human nature. You kind of end up holding that if you guys don't arrive at some type of closure for it. So.
I like what you said, but you starting to step on some of my talking points. Kevin?
I don't know, it's very nuanced. Depends on the relationship. Depends on, as you said,
You want to fill in some of that nuance
going on, and yeah, it's a lot of different things that are variables.
A lot of variables. So life ain't simple.
No, people change too. That's
some people,
but people change. We can't be so jaded to think people can't. We've all changed. True. If we didn't get the grace we deserved at some point, or somebody granted us, where will we be? So I don't know. It's very.
So, like I said, Sharon kind of stepped on a couple of my talking points here, because I was going to ask about.
I just introduced him. I didn't step on him.
You stepped on him a little bit.
What's our topic?
Right.
It's my show.
You're right. It's my show.
But
it's right.
To be fair, I think that kind of happens when it's like they don't know what's coming.
That's true.
So
Pause.
like. So there's because when I do that shit, yeah, it's like if they don't know what's coming, they say something like, God damn it, that was the next question. Like,
so similar to what Sharon was saying, sometimes the closure in when it comes to friendships and in relationships, it could just be you have the misunderstanding and you just start to drift apart because behaviors are not changing. So I want to know, like, do you guys think that people expect more closure more in romantic relationships than friendships, or do you think it's equal?
I feel like I want closure, and I don't know. I really don't even know why. What?
You said that in my head. I said, because you could have had a man.
I mean, I never, not to say it like this, but I'm going to say it like this. Like, I ain't never wanted a nigga back that I had. Like, or I never.
Give me a new bitch by Tuesday.
You get a gunshot.
Or even let them come back. Like,
Oh,
I just
shit.
feel
No,
like
She said we don't recycle over here.
I don't. And I think it's because it's like once you arrive at a certain point, but that's also, I'll say this. I have only had 2 serious relationships in my 38. That's it, right? I've had a lot of situationships or whatever you call that shit.
Mm.
But 2 serious relationships. And when you arrive at the ending of something, it's the ending of it. Like I don't understand. And a big thing for me is disrespect.
Okay.
Like when people start to talk about their deal breakers and all that, like my deal breaker is disrespect. Now I know that that's a very large umbrella, but I know what I'm saying, the check boxes that's under that for me.
Are you communicating this before, or when it happens, or are you just kind of letting it dwell?
No, a lot of times you get a couple chances of it.
Okay.
It's not like I meet you with, hey, do not disrespect me this way. But a lot of them are obvious. You know what I mean? A lot of them are, you won't disrespect females. I won't even use like the title of mom, sister, whatever. You won't disrespect any women in your life that you care for that way.
Oh, you had to say that part because without
Yeah.
that care profile, I said listen long.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like I have to even convey that because there are things that obviously you're not going to disrespect a woman that you care about in those ways. So once that disrespect happens, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't tolerate the disrespect. I really, really don't. So I just think that in those situations, closure isn't needed because my closure is gathered from the fact that you crossed the line, that whether I gave you a chance at it or you just knew it to be true because of how I hold myself. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I carry myself in such a way to where you should know how not to disrespect me. So if you already crossed that line, then there's the closure because you know you.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just a matter of am I going to get, but I'm not. So there's the closure. In friendships, I think it's a little different because you're like, I don't know. It's different for me in friendships. I feel like with those, maybe because it gets a little bit more like it's more muddy. Like it's not those hard drawn lines of what that looks like.
Let me ask you this: do you subscribe to the notion or the fact or the belief that some friendships are seasonal?
I do. But I'm not loose at all with the title of
Okay.
at all. Like it takes a lot for me to arrive at we are friends.
I appreciate that.
So so with that being said, I think that relationships are I've never had I have had friendship. But it just takes a lot, you know? And so it's like once you kind of arrive at a certain, or whether it keeps happening or it's grand enough for it to end it, with friendships, it kind of makes me like just kind of want to understand it because a lot of times friendships that I've had that may have ended, I feel like it just doesn't have as much clarity as what I was.
And I agree. Relationships are seasonal. Even if you stay together, you have your good. You know, it's like a roller coaster. You know, you have your good months, your bad months, sometimes years, whatever.
Yeah.
But what's your take and fly? You need the original again. You want to say it again?
Yeah. I was just sitting there listening to her talk, and I was sitting there. No, I was listening. I was absorbing, and I was just kind of like some deep thinking.
Yeah.
All right, but
I was saying no mac and cheese. Do you feel that we expect closure more in romantic relationships?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would say, yeah. I feel like the average person I hear talk about closure is usually relationships, but for me, I feel like I would expect it more from friendships more than ever romantic relationships because I feel like, I think to your point, like anytime I've heard or even thought about closure in any other sense is to fuck one more time.
I want to make sure I'm making the right decision.
Like, well, other than that, but
I hate niggas, bro. Right.
But
thank you for solidifying that thought in my head.
But friendship closure is more more important and significant because you want to know because shit, I've had most of the friends that I consider friends, I consider family. So it means
that's
more.
a good point.
So for like relationships, it literally could have just been a fling that you were in for however long, and it might have been good for the moment, but in hindsight, it wasn't good for you going forward as a person. So yeah, I would say it should be friendships that should have more, uh, to me, weight and closure than the other.
Just here.
I think I'm looking at it differently than
You always are. That's why we're
everyone.
here.
Just as I said, like with closure, it feels like it's more the way it's being used is as if it's some sort of agreement that we come together on why this happened. That shit don't. That's not how it works. I feel like I'm like nigga. If it's not, things ain't
Yeah.
working.
You're
It ain't
probably not
working.
gonna
Like,
get
it's
that.
just. But you're going to come to your own conclusion of what the closure is, no matter what. So I'm like, that's why I'm always like, the closure is from yourself anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's friendship or relationship or whatever, you're going to figure out what your closure is. So it's like, no matter what, you're going to have closure, or you're going to dwell on it and keep going on to that and keep focusing into that. So
Well, sometimes closure isn't as defined as what you said, right? Because I want to say this.
Yeah, say it. This is what we're here for.
I can say it. Okay, so closure doesn't mean that you came to a conclusion of what happened, right? Just to give a
I
different
guess I should say
spiel.
moving on.
Right. So I was able to have closure from, I guess, from like I said, it was like a
Just did quotes, it's like from a,
No, I don't.
I hate talking about my stuff. It's weird. So I had like a situationship. It lasted for a very long time. It was like some years. And we had
Wait a minute, nigga. You can't say situationship didn't say it lasted for some years.
Playing house.
Yeah. I said
No,
some
we
years.
didn't live together and stuff, but we dealt
You
with each
guys
other
together.
for a long time.
You
Yeah.
was together. That's a commitment, nigga.
Yeah.
A couple years.
Okay, and this is why I said I don't be wanting to talk about my shit.
Oh, okay.
No judgment. You right. My
Fair.
bad. Play us fuck up.
Thank you.
You know, play us fuck up.
I fuck clearly the situationship was me fucking up for years with somebody. Sorry, that was very me. Like I can't even look. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh shit.
Go ahead. I know.
Yeah,
I study.
he got you down.
That's what I do, y'all.
I study.
Yeah.
I should have been an impressionist.
Anywho, so yeah, we had a situationship that lasted for some years or whatever. I was young. I was in my 20s.
Nigga, put the bass back in your voice. Don't be soft now.
It happened in my 20s, but I really did. We cared about each other, right? So, I ended up running into to him like last year, and we just ran into each other like very, what is it called, randomly. But the way we ran into each other, we were in an environment where we could like kind of talk for a little while, right? For like, I don't know, whatever. So we talked for a while. And that felt like closure. Now, it wasn't closure that I felt like I needed. It wasn't any type of discussion about how we ended or any of that.
Yeah.
But it was more of just like a full circle of like we still real cool. Like, you know what I mean? That season of us is far gone. It will never, ever be a thing ever again.
Nigga, you said you don't recycle.
Right. I mean, but I still care about him. Like from another level of like, now you're in like a long time friend box. Because it's somebody that I've,
Wouldn't that be a confirmation of how you felt?
No, because I didn't know how we came out of that. Like, I don't know if you're mad that whatever, like, you know, I don't know if we run into each other, you're going to be like, this bitch. Like, I didn't know. I didn't think it was going to be that. But that felt like a closure that didn't have to discuss.
That's what I feel like closure is anyway, though.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what closure is.
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
you don't have to discuss the stuff. That's what I'm saying. Most people take closure as this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
Like, these are the things we have to do. And I'm like, I don't think that's what closure is.
You ain't
It's
gotta
like that. It's more like when you
yeah.
run into somebody and sometimes you be like, you know what, that was dope.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. I couldn't find the language. Thank you, Kevin. That's exactly what I got from it. It was just like, damn, I liked that. Like, you know what I mean? And separate ways. It ain't like it didn't feel like,
Yeah.
oh, we should start hanging out. It was nothing like that. But it was really just like, okay, that was dope. Like, I was happy we got to do that.
And to me, I feel like that's already there. You just kind of
Sometimes it takes.
you didn't know because you weren't even in that
We didn't get to be in the
situation.
You
same
wouldn't have-
But
environment.
it was one of those
to
where you're
do
like,
it.
oh yeah,
You
I
wasn't-
definitely close the book on this. Like close the page. Like we cool.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't.
That's
What's up, nigga? Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
No, I like that. But because I think you're right. I think that going back to what we were saying in the beginning, I think because probably both of us, I could speak for myself and say that because we already had our separate closures, it was now kind of like the confirmation of it.
Yeah.
Good
And he
shit,
came there and he
Kevin.
was like,
Mhm.
oh, cool shit. He probably, I don't know how this going to go. There's shit
Yeah.
around over there.
Mm.
Let me go say hey.
It was cool though.
I mean, so you
I
don't
appreciate
have to explain what's understood.
Sometimes shit ain't understood and it's understood to yourself.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's all that needs to
That's
matter.
true. So, did you answer that, McFly?
That wasn't
Yeah.
even, I brought that up.
You brought that up. Well, I'm gonna ask you this, Ron. Is closure about healing or is it about ego?
About healing.
You don't think there's no ego in there?
Depending on the person, yeah. I think that people that are ego driven, it will, because what did we say? Oh, I want to see if I can fuck again.
That's the ego. Yeah.
No, that's just what makes you make the right decision.
That's ego.
It's like it was it.
I want to see if I still can have her back, him back, whoever back.
Mm.
I feel like that's not closure though. you already closed, but you're like, hey, I can get one more.
Can I open it?
That's ego. I hate y'all. That's very much
That
ego.
is ego.
And it's manipulation, and that's
Mhm.
why,
Oh, yeah.
and that's probably why, like I feel like I'm a good judge of character for the most
So
part.
let me ask you this because this is one of the questions, right?
Oh no, I wasn't saying nothing.
I know.
Okay.
You wasn't. You wasn't. Like the situation you just said when you ran into your situationship, right?
Mhm.
And how you felt like you got closure then, right? So in that moment, I don't know if he apologized for anything,
Mm-mm.
right? But if he had apologized for anything or anything he had done during the time of your situationship, would that have actually changed anything about how you felt? You think that would have made the situation different?
No, because I had, so it wouldn't have mattered. Like for myself, I was so far past it. Like it would have just been like, that's for you. Like an apology. I mean, I guess I'm trying to make it make sense because there wasn't really like an apology owed at that. But if there would have been,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have changed how I felt, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because my true feeling about it is I'm just so far past, so it wouldn't have done anything. And because life paths, like,
Mhm.
what use is it of me to be like, oh my God, he said sorry, things are different now, and he's married, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for what? Like, you
Okay.
know? So no, I don't think so.
So I'm gonna ask you two fellas the same question. If there's a situation to where you had closure, but then the person apologized for other case, is that something where you would possibly think about reopening the friendship or the relationship or whatever? Well, not the relationship, 'cause y'all niggas married. The friendship. I ain't trying to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
know.
don't mind.
That's me neither.
You don't mind?
I don't
Oh,
mind.
the
No,
relationship
not that.
for Kevin,
I'm
the
not talking
relationship.
about
You
that.
don't
I'm
mind.
talking about I don't mind reopening and like being at a point because it's like it's a different chapter. It's not the
Okay.
same. We're not going back to what
This
that
nigga
was.
is really mature. I'm
Are you
still on my
surprised?
Kendrick shit.
You're like, fuck you,
Cut
never
your-
again.
Cut your own granny off.
What Kendrick say, McFly? I guess I ain't healed enough.
Yeah.
Oh my Kendrick. Fuck you.
I've
nigga.
always had a goal of mine is to recreate the Dave Chappelle skit
Which one?
where he found the ex
Oh.
and pretended,
Yeah.
and then
And then let her.
made her leave her situation and all that, and just left her at the airport.
So you not ready?
I'm not ready. I'm fucked up. I'm a petty dude.
You know what though? Like, do I want to? Okay, so I gave a example of a situation that it wasn't horrible. Like, you know, it ended whatever.
It didn't end bad.
It didn't end bad.
So now you're trying to correlate it to a situation that ended bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Would
see
you
what
accept
my
the apology? I like you. You over there doing the work.
Yeah, I really am. I'm like, I gave the example that was like cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The example of a relationship that was horrible and they gave me an apology, I would take it with a grain of salt. There's still nothing, but I guess I still have the same answer. there's still no outcome now that's different.
Do you feel like there's nothing for you to gain personally?
Right. There's no shift in what the current state of us is based on that apology now.
Yeah,
okay.
I can see it. Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Because
there's no difference.
I think it'd be very few people that if they gave me an apology that I would just be like, I appreciate the rest of them. Like, fuck your apology.
Ooh.
Shuck on that apology.
Damn.
I'm telling you, I'm not healed yet. That's why I go to therapy.
I take it
Anyway.
from
No, I feel you.
a standpoint of we've all been.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm that to certain
No,
people.
I
I'm
know
sure
for a
I'm
fact I am.
I go off of that. People change, things change, and again, you're not going back to what things were. Like you can't because that's closed. You're now going to a different portion. Okay,
Can I? How many drinks do you have today?
I had one.
Strong one.
It wasn't that strong. It was just like a shot in it.
Okay.
No. Why?
You're not
Because I
sweating?
can't.
You're not sweating this week.
I can't. Yeah.
He's not.
He's not sweating.
I think
he's
his
not-
hair is cut a little.
That shit
lower,
had me in
too.
tears,
That's why I took the head off.
Yeah.
No edibles.
Yeah.
Usually, but I mean, that's usually make you say stupid shit. But I'm over here just.
You're in a tranquility like.
Yeah, I got tacos coming.
Can I add the fact
Yeah,
though
you can. It's your
that
episode.
I want to add that an apology that's given to me, and I know you just fucking playing in my face.
Oh, that's disrespectful. We know how you feel about
Yeah,
that.
that's not a real
Yeah,
apology though.
Our
now we
hands-
got a whole new problem.
But that's
Are hands thrown possible?
that would be the same person being the same person. They didn't
see how
change.
fast you throw that
They haven't
jab?
changed.
Yeah, the fists.
I'm
like,
just saying, like that's different. Now
here's-
you playing in my face, giving me a fake ass apology.
Here's how I look at apologies that are like way down the line, where you like, that's not necessarily for you. Like
It's
if
for the-
somebody
it's for
comes and
them?
apologizes to you, it's not for you. It's something that's inside of them that made them feel like,
They eating that.
hey, I need to I fucked up. Like
But you're
they did.
saying that from a genuine space. Motherfuckers ain't genuine.
Well, we're
know-
not talking about them because them niggas ain't apologizing. Like that's not
no,
a real
it's
apology.
niggas that don't
But
apologize
that's
that
not,
aren't genuine.
That's not real. That's not a real apology. Like just
Okay.
because you say the words
right.
don't mean you
mean
mean
it,
the
yeah.
thing.
I can.
What? Don't give me that
I'm-
shit. She
no,
went- she went-
that wasn't.
I can.
That wasn't to you. That was to the. I'm triggered a little bit right now. That was to the
Okay.
situation.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna ask you why you triggered. I'm kind of with Kevin on that because I feel like I've had family members in the past apologize to me for shit they've done to clear their conscience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it wasn't that they necessarily felt bad about what they did.
Yeah,
They just didn't want to carry that shit on them anymore.
they want to say
Some
that they
niggas
feel
will
like
apologize
they
to you, and you like, I didn't even know you did something. Like, what the fuck?
But why you triggered, Sharon? What's triggering?
I just don't like, and I feel like when people give you that fake ass, you like you're not.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're just not,
yeah, that's yeah.
and I really don't like to be like. Just don't fucking play in my face. Like, if there's anything that I can.
See, right now, I wanted to grab for her wrist so she wouldn't swing at me. I have nothing to do with the
'Cause
situation.
She quick.
Yeah,
she quick.
she quick.
She quick.
She
If
got
there's
quick
anything
hands.
I could ever ask.
That's like
of
when Kevin said, "You want to
anyone-
sit there?" I said, "No, I do not."
Shut up. Is that why I'm on the end today?
You're not hitting me.
Y'all got me fucked up.
See?
I do. I was wondering why I had to sit on the end today.
Cause you be hitting niggas.
The next episode is gonna be them three. I'm gonna be on video.
She's got a laptop set up.
They pan to us over here like this. Emotional damage.
Anyways, no, I just don't like to be played with. And when people do that type of stuff, I just be feeling like, go work on yourself. Don't worry about what it was between you and I. Go handle you. Because at the end of the day, whatever happened between us or however it ended up being disrespect or whatever, right? It's because you have your own issues. 10 times out of 10. Right? What I heard the other day, 9 times out of 8.
Mhm.
9 times out of 8, you probably treated another person poorly because you have your own issues.
Mhm.
So to come to me with an apology when I know that there's evidence of you still having those same issues and you still treating other people like shit, you're not really apologizing. You're playing in my face.
Mm.
You're saying it. It's like what you said. You really play.
She is. Hey.
That was real.
You be
That
hitting
was a real
See, look at you.
flinch.
And
Yeah,
then
it
she
was.
leans in. You see how she leans in?
I know.
Like,
What you scared of?
Like, why you keep moving, nigga?
I don't even know what I was
your
saying.
hands are quick.
They are.
Your hands are quick. so.
Everybody knows it. But no, I was gonna say, like, if you still have evidence of being a bullshit or a shitty ass person, then like Mo said, like sometimes people will apologize for themselves. And that's even more genuine than like what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that can really be a
That's
thing.
genuine.
Yeah. But sometimes people will apologize out of manipulation. Like
Yeah.
after so much time has passed by, damn it, I know what I gotta do.
And
I
that
gotta
ain't
tell
no
her sorry.
apology.
Like, no, nigga.
And that's not an apology.
That's
not-
not an apology.
Because I do
That's
think
not an
Kiss
apology.
my
I do
ass.
think sometimes niggas nigga and women will apologize to try to correct their
Women are
problem.
niggas too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Sorry.
say. There's
Well,
women niggas.
I was gonna say the other word. I'm trying to not say it as much.
Just call them niggas.
Look, everybody is niggas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they will. I feel like motherfuckers try to do shit to kind of fix their karma, like get their karma back on the right path. And like I feel like similar to what you were saying, Sharon. Like don't sit here and play in my face and disrespect me because you're not coming to me to actually make amends
to reconcile.
You're just trying to make yourself feel better about what you did.
Yeah.
I know, but they don't believe that.
It's not they got worse
But they
coming
lying
to
to
them.
themselves, and then when they figure it out, they go. Hopefully, one day look back and be like,
Yeah. There's no better apology than changed patterns in your behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have no
money.
Like, oh, you're sorry? Damn, that 5 racks?
Yeah.
Shit.
You know, I forgive you.
You're right.
I forgive
You was
you.
wrong as hell.
Now go over there. Yeah. So that was kind of why, just because like
It's lying.
Just lying.
Because you lying to me.
But to be truthful, like I said, like I don't really have a lot of or past relationships. Oh my gosh, I wanted an apology or anything like that. It's just usually like you just move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn the page.
This last question I'm gonna ask y'all on the topic. Okay.
Don't be base.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not-
closure to closure.
I did get a little crazy with that playing in my face shit. I just don't like it.
In your last situation, would that rather be in a relationship or a friendship? Did you get closure or did you create it for yourself?
I always.
I think I said the same. Created for myself.
I think.
Yeah. I got a question to ask you.
Me?
Oh, Kevin. How do you? Because I think the closure came when you called me about Mike.
With
for
Mike?
that. Yeah, with Mike. Like that closure came from because I was at a point where I didn't know
Like
what
to
happened
do,
with them, what was going on.
Yeah.
So when you called me and said, "Hey, man," I was like, "Shit!" Like at that point, I just had to accept.
Yeah, you're like
we're never gonna
at this point.
Yeah, like. So did you take it the same way?
I think with Mike, I feel like I had. Here's how I always look at shit. If things go a certain way, I try to look at my behavior. I see something I may have done somewhere where it's like, all right, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have to call that person and be like, I did this. It's like I just kind of know where I fucked up. And if it's a scenario kind of like that where it's like, I know I didn't really do nothing. It's like he just has some shit going on with his own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not gonna fault nobody for that. So I just kind of move on. And then in that type of situation, hope it would come back to where it's like we could come back to some sort of some sort of relationship. It won't be the same, but it'll be this. But with that, it was just like we definitely don't have that now.
Yeah.
So it's like I think I was already kind of closed in that regard, but not like I didn't want that person to not be in this world. You know what I mean? Like so is one of those where you're like, damn, well now this is for real, for real.
Yeah.
Sharon, you nervous?
I know.
That's the hell of that's a wild question to ask for the closure one. You nervous?
I hit the ding. What you call it? I'm sorry, y'all.
No, but that's like the third time that you've been playing with your hair.
Oh, I'm not nervous.
Anxious?
Why did I ask?
She said it was. She was nervous before, like she thought it was a job interview.
Yeah. I'm like,
I did, huh?
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know the questions.
Don't be stressed. Are you gonna answer the question, Sharon?
What is in my last situation? Say it again.
Did you get closure or did you create it for yourself?
My last like real type situation. dealing with a nigga.
That's why she didn't want to host.
Yeah. Because these niggas got me fucked up
No,
out
they,
here.
No, they don't.
Playing my fucking play.
You got kickboxing
Hey,
today?
you know what's funny? Is we had an
No.
episode where we wouldn't talk about none of that before, and she was just like, playing in my face. And I was like, what? We talking about money.
I did.
McFly, did you answer?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did.
I said, yeah. I asked him
Oh,
about
you
Mike.
did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Sharon because Sharon is hilarious.
Shut up. I'm passionate about some stuff.
Niggas ain't shit.
It was like, this right here was crazy because I do that.
I
do.
in my I think I created for myself. I think going forward, I generally just similar to what I did to the fall off. I just cut off.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a cold thing to say. But that album was trash.
Stupid.
Just cut it off. And I don't give an explanation. I personally distance myself. I'm not rude. I will respond, and I just move accordingly. I just, I now, like I tell my therapist, I move people from one box to another, and the further you get from the center, the less I talk to you.
What box did you put J. Cole in?
Hopeful. He's in the hopeful box. He can bounce back. I'm hopeful.
That fucking album. I need closure from that fucking album. God damn.
Well, the other one's coming out, he said, right?
Yeah, I hope it's better. Not every ending comes with an explanation, but every ending comes with a choice. You can either stay stuck in the question, or you can move forward without an answer. What's your thoughts on that?
Every ending got an ending, nigga. What? Bars.
That's true. That's true. What's your thoughts, Sharon? Oh my gosh, Sharon. You know what? You playing in my fucking face. Oh shit.
Hey, that's funny.
It said you can stay stuck in the question, or you can move forward without an answer.
Oh, I love that because.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna stay stuck, or you gonna move forward? See, come on now,
I've
Sharon.
been stuck before.
Let me think.
Okay. Okay, wait. Think about it, McFly.
I'm gonna forget.
I agree.
You gonna move forward?
Yeah, we'll move forward.
Yeah. I mean, I personally believe there's no reason to stay there.
The best line
Say it.
from Fabulous.
Okay.
You either I've been official, but I've been official. So you got to just stay on that. Like I've been like you can be beneficial, but I've been official. Yeah. So you just keep going for it.
Finding my cousin tells me that I always, even though my answer was that I move forward, what is probably I move forward,
but you stuck.
But I didn't make the answer up on my own, and that's not fair to people sometimes.
Fuck them.
But what answer?
No, fuck him, because I still move forward. I feel you, Mo. Like, stop.
No, I'm laughing because he done.
He did that. I wasn't even about to do nothing. But no, but I think that could be toxic of me. I think it could.
Some things just don't need to be answered, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need
Sometimes
an answer.
that's the problem.
I don't have to have the answer from you.
No, I know, but you
But it
might make
makes
some
it-
crazy shit up where it's just like, that's what it was. It's
No,
like,
I
what
probably
the
just
fuck?
diagnosed you with something,
What
and
did
then I
she
just
think
move on
was
with my
what
life.
that-
All right, that's perfect, Kevin. Because
move on.
now we're gonna go to it's a quick
Auxiliary.
It's a quick
He was
question and
auxiliary.
answer period. All I want just a yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, a yes or no, nigga. I don't
There's
need
not-
no
I don't know.
explanation.
It's not even-
Especially
This is gonna be
You
some
good.
bullshit.
no explanation, especially from
Back.
This is gonna be some
There we
bullshit.
go.
the nigga from the upper ghetto. Okay,
This is gonna be some bullshit.
That would
Yes
be
or
me.
no?
and
Upper hood.
and I'm not.
Thank you, Kevin. That's my nigga right there.
Upper hood.
Okay,
Because
sorry.
I ain't never said
And,
ghetto.
and everybody gonna
It's
get
the upper
and there's gonna be
hood.
different questions.
The upper room.
All right, so I'm gonna go with you.
Yes.
I think he's gonna say what I think I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, I'm so scared. Let's go.
Can you move forward if you're still waiting on an apology?
Yeah. Oh no, if you're waiting on one, no. No. Not if
Is
you're
that
waiting.
your final answer, nigga? You want to
Yeah.
phone a friend?
Yeah, if you're waiting, no.
Okay.
You can't.
God.
He said we gotta go fast.
Damn.
I know you told
Sharon.
me, and then he asked me a follow-up.
Like, nigga, I said.
Sharon, is blocking someone's healing just are just avoiding the real work? Are you blocking someone's healing, or are you just avoiding the real work?
Wait, I'm confused.
When it relates to closure,
Oh.
are you blocking your healing? Or are you just avoiding the real work?
Oh.
How's
Those
that?
are the
So
same
he got a
things.
yes or
I was
no.
like,
and
how's
she-
that a yes or no? I said,
Yeah.
She did it. Because it's
That's
her episode.
not yes or
Because
no.
it's her episode.
Ah.
And those are the same thing. Blocking healing and avoiding the work. Those are one and the same.
Yeah. So what's the answer? What's your answer?
You're both.
That's how you see. I asked you a question depending on how you're looking at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, boom. I like that. You
So can you answer the
are
question, nigga, or not?
avoiding the work. You're avoiding the
Okay.
work.
Avoiding the work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I liked that. I did. It took me a minute to get there, but I liked it.
Ready.
You ready?
I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, I'm ready.
One.
Go ahead.
What's worse? It's not failing publicly or silently struggling alone.
Silently struggling alone, honestly. Because
Good.
failing publicly, you could bounce back from. But
Mhm.
yeah, failing alone or struggling alone is because you're doing that shit alone and you feel like you have no one to tell about it. That
Okay.
sounds horrible.
That answer was out of your ego.
You mean without ego?
Without ego, because
God
the person
damn, don't
same
come
shit,
from-
same shit,
It's
same
not.
shit. Somebody that would have answered from the ego would have.
type shit.
Sharon, so since you got so much to say, do people deserve access to you after they mishandled you?
Hell no.
Because they
Hell
played in your
no.
fucking face.
They
That's
played
right.
in my motherfucking face, and it's a wrap. But niggas always come back. They never stay. But that's a whole nother. That's another episode.
Yeah, it is. Kevin, at what point does understanding someone's trauma stop excusing their behavior?
Understanding there?
Yeah.
I feel like you don't have to excuse their behavior to understand it.
All right, hold on.
Good shit.
Oh,
No,
wait a-
for real. I don't even be doing that. But that was tight, Kevin.
Well, I mean,
Kevin, like, what did I say? God damn it.
like, what's his name?
That's a bar, nigga.
You know, for real. Kevin, like, I'm gonna have to watch this episode. Cause niggas like that answer.
That's
That
it?
was
That's what it was.
And he
I thought
dropped
you
the
had more.
mic.
All right. McFly, have you ever been the person that didn't give someone else closure?
Yes.
Confidently.
And I have a follow-up question to that. Do you feel like how, now that you're in your therapy mode, do you think, in retrospect, was that a good move or a bad move?
Great move. Do you need me to?
If you want to, you can.
I think it's a great move because I feel like to the question you asked her, I feel like people were rightfully so denied access to me in those moments, so they didn't get closure, but it was for my own being.
Okay.
So yeah, it was.
All right. And this question is for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever outgrown a situation you once begged to keep?
Yeah.
And if you want to elaborate what that was,
I'm just really
what?
I'm just sharing today, guys.
And we love that for you.
Oh, my freaking mouth. He my friend now too. My oldest kid's dad. Like, I could speak more our situation because I tell him all the time. He like my cousin now.
Please don't say that. Don't say that. You have a baby by that nigga. Don't say that to your cousin.
He came like last week. He came
get
over.
what
He
you're saying.
called me cousin, baby mama friend. Cause
Damn.
like,
That's crazy.
I say all the time he my cousin.
Okay.
He we're cousins on our kids' side. But no, we real cool. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
In the South, that would go off.
Yeah,
way
it's
different.
weird. I thought Alabama immediately, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I mean, it's a joke, obviously.
Okay.
But
Yeah, but you know, in the South, they believe you.
it speaks to the friendship, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, me and him got together when I was 17. So that was all I wanted. Like, he was just, oh my God, I just really want, like, in my head, that's who I was supposed to marry and everything. But no.
Okay. Right.
And then it was just like, I wanted it so bad. And then after I didn't, and going into like now, like I can just jokingly say, like, that's the childhood friend of mine. Like, girl, no, you didn't. Like, but during and, while it was fresh. And when I was a child, it was some.
Kevin,
No, I've grown it. I just feel like things change. They've changed.
do you have any situations that you beg for?
I'm sure.
You used to pray for times like this,
I'm
around like
sure,
this?
yeah.
Oh.
And then, I'm sure when you look at everybody's lives, it landed exactly where
They're supposed to be.
we're supposed to be.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
This nigga dodged the question. McFly?
That's not dodging.
I would say it's to be popular. It was something that younger you wanted to be more popular or liked, and I think now I've gotten to a point where I like who I am. I think it's that the older I get this more.
I gotta get the snaps from
Authentic self.
Like the poetry.
And like it's funny is like the more I find myself, the more people seem to be drawn towards me. So I guess it works out in its own.
Okay.
But just being me is dope.
I'm scared.
So do you feel like over these last couple of months with the therapy, you're more comfortable being you?
I do, and I feel like it opens up my understanding of myself, because I used to think that I would be so terrified to talk about myself to a therapist, and I realized the therapist looking at me like, if you don't shut the fuck up. So yeah, I think it's dope. It kind of gives me an understanding of just the comfortable perspective of what I am as far as talking, as far as opening up about myself, rather.
Do you realize you're being popular
For the birds?
Yeah. And
Literally,
it
who
was
gives a
one of
fuck?
the things where, like I said, I was trying to figure out where I stood, and then I started after my dad passed, I started doing things differently, and me just doing it unknowingly made people start saying things to me that I didn't even know they noticed, like the whole wearing the loud shoes or the hair or
I don't think it's loud. I just think you wear what you like.
yeah, but I'm saying I'm doing it because I like it, but then somebody will go, that's dope. And I'm like, I didn't even notice you noticed that. Like, it was just something I did, but it was just because it was trying to find myself after my dad being a big part of my identity growing up wasn't there anymore. I was like, well, who am I now?
Well, you three niggas answered so, sorry, it's Kevin. You two niggas answered so
Well, how was that
deeply
not
and
an
thoughtfully.
answer?
Oh, you answered.
How's
Just-
that dodging the question? Or I'm telling you
I just
the
I
truth.
expect,
It wasn't what I wanted.
I just expected more from you, Kevin.
That's
you've
the problem
been,
with niggas is
you've been-
expecting from people.
You've been
My
on your,
nigga,
you've been on your
That's the problem with
deloading and
niggas.
shit.
you playing in my face.
Look here, I'm from the upper hood. You don't want to mess with me. I'm from the upper hood.
room.
Y'all are
No,
So-
but I honestly do feel like that.
irritated.
I haven't. It's just I've changed. So
I get it. And so since y'all was serious, I'm gonna be non-serious
Oh,
as I end this.
shit.
The one situation that I
He
begged
was not
for,
serious about that. You playing in my face.
I
Fuck
was about
you.
that. One situation that I begged for that I have completely outgrown is marriage and fatherhood, because these niggas are expensive, and I wish I had my money to myself, but I love them.
no.
I wouldn't trade them for nothing but
Hey,
more money.
go spend a week with. You'll be like, never mind.
No, for real.
Fuck that.
Never mind.
You got a single homie right here.
Yeah.
This shit is for the birds.
You ain't single,
I
nigga.
ain't really know.
You got 3 roommates.
I
This
do.
has been
They don't pay no bills.
episode 239 of Heavyweight Collective. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that shit. And until next time, we love
getting
y'all.
a Sprinter van.
Peace.
Sweating. That's a wrap, y'all. That's how she wrote. So make sure you click like, subscribe. Tune in. We on all streaming platforms. So until next time, we'll holla at you.